Me, I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed, by the way. I'm not even going to do okay today because what is this? What do you mean? Kind of Sunday? The week is going to be long. The week is going to be long. The week is going to be long. You know, the only thing I'm taking away from this entire thing is the fact that their new striker did not score. Because if that man had scored, oh my God. Maurice, I'm sad, by the way, this is true. I am very, very sad. Maurice, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the Talk Track. We're at Plot 8 Big Gabula Road. The Talk Track is an independent production of the Kara Junkies. It's produced, edited, sound mixed, and shot by Maurice, aka Moro Moro, aka he is so lucky he does not support Manchester United. Guys, I had hope. My name is Roy, aka The Alchemist, aka Ochawa Giramanio, aka Nofachi Neviensi. Hey guys, this team is sad. Day one of this. Day one. You give us at least until match day 6. Match day 1. What? Do these people not know that they are fans in Uganda? I'm not, but they need to understand. Harry Maguire, they are fans in Uganda. When you guys do those things, these guys attack us. Now you're making us look bad. Because now I have to justify myself in front of Arsenal fans. And then also Liverpool fans. Now Tottenham fans also. Match day 1. And to Arsenal. This is supposed to be a mid-season loss. We do not own any of the rights to the music I'm going to be hearing playing in the background. Also, the opinions presented on the Talk Track are opinions expressed out of experience and lived perception by the participants of the Talk Track. They do not in any way reflect the beliefs of any of the entities affiliated with the Talk Track. That is the Barra House and the Kara Junkies. Okay, listen. We spent the whole week, people are just giving us good news. Levikson got married to Desire Luzinda. I realized that Uganda as a country, everything we do, the foundation of this country is just generally promises. Everyone has promised us something. I don't know if those promises are going to come true, but hey, we live on promises. We are basically the promised land. If anyone who wants to do something but doesn't want to do it immediately will come to Uganda. It's just thriving on the promises of God. And I don't want to say the other people, they may cancel the Talk Track. Chinese investors. Then what else? Bobby Wine's son also got engaged. Kampala got engaged. I saw a tweet. They said this 20-year-old boy is getting engaged. For you people who watch That's Life from What To, why are you still single? People who know what Mwanamujimu is. Why? People who know that the Teletubbies. By the way, you watch Teletubbies, right? You remember the son in Teletubbies? No, but you remember the son in Teletubbies, eh? The baby son? That baby son now has a baby. No, not the baby Teletubby. The son, the actual son. The one with that son child, smiling son child, now has a child. So that's Life from What To, Mwanamujimu, all those things. But people I think these days we're more aligned to believe in negative propaganda. So it's very easy for people to take shots at other people. Have you watched Stephen? Have you watched, there's a movie called The Pickup that stars Eddie Murphy and Pete Davidson, and in that movie they were throwing strays. Android users called strays in that movie, by the way. Because Eddie Murphy legit said, I'd rather buy a burner phone than use an Android. Yeah. just catching strays. I looked at my phone, I said, it's okay. Now you add to that, then I'm a Manchester United fan. Things are messed up. But life is good regardless, ladies and gentlemen. Life is good. Life is good. We celebrate the small wins that we've had. You know, I think overall it's been quite a lovely week. The weather, for two, apparently trending almost the entire day in Kampala yesterday. But the weather has been it has been weathering. So guys, always remember to carry your warm wear. Yeah, we don't want guys dying of cough. Now, much like I thought I could predict the outcome today. When, you know, a lot of variables on my side. I play quicker football. I was playing at home. Onana was not in goal. There's just so many things in my favor. Then Calafiori happened. And then Bainda happened. And you see, sometimes you think you have control of a situation. And you think you're going to see the end or the outcome of the situation, only for that outcome to shock you, much like today when Manchester United did the thing. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the illusion of control. The illusion of control. Do we actually even have control over the things that go on around us? Because studies have shown, especially of late, I think in the last maybe 5-10 years, that levels of anxiety and stress have gone up, like on the global scale. They've risen significantly. And most people, or at least most psychologists or therapists, shrinks, the ones who provide mental rejuvenation. You know those ones, eh? Yeah, that one, yeah. So those guys are testing a lot of that to our inability to let things be and just go with the flow and trust the process, right? We live in a world that is, I think we are so tuned in all the time these days that, you know, we are consistently given the picture that we can actually control a lot of the things that happen around us, right? How we can control how people feel about things. We want to control how people dress. We want to control what people eat. I mean, you've seen Dr. Kasenene on Twitter. Not that I'm against him for promoting healthy living, but the way he, you know. So the illusion of control, and not just with the things that are closest to us, but even things that for some reason we don't have precedence even thinking of. Yeah, predicting 15 years ahead or 20 years ahead, or, you know, things like that. And I think it's because we've internalized the fact that we can control a lot of the things that happen around us and a lot of things that we think are going to happen. We're trying so much to change the past. We're trying so hard to predict the future. And because of that, I think we've gotten to a point as a society, globally even, where if the smallest of things does not go our way, then it's like we've upset the balance of existence. So why are we like that these days? What is this that has given us that belief that, you know, we are firmly in control of majority of the things that are surrounding us, even when in most cases we know that we aren't? What is giving us this very strong illusion of control? And why are we so vested, and why are we so you know, caught up in trying to be the people that never go with the flow? No one say anything about Arsenal or Manchester United. I will turn off the mic. I'm serious. In the meantime, let me give a shout out to the Barra House, our sponsor, also an official home of the Kara Junkies, also the giver outer of shots. If you ever want a night with good shots, please, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you come to the Barra House, you will not regret it.
Well,
or did I lie?
No.
Good. You first tell us about control.
The truth is, we all want to have control. It's just how we're surviving, no? Because you feel safer when you know you can manage something within your, your space. Unfortunately, however, you can't control everything. And that's why we keep telling ourselves or having these conversations where you tell people, if you can't control it, leave it. If you can't change something, leave it. Okay? But remember, the attempt to control is so that you are in a safe space where you're comfortable with, or at least, every time we know that this is what it will be like, you're much more relaxed. Because, that's why we say there's a fear of the unknown. We all, once there is uncertainty in life, we panic because we fear the unknown. So if I have a sense of knowing, I settle a little. That is why we plan. And it's not just today. It's only gotten worse because, let's be honest, we are now overpopulated. Everything, resources, everyone is trying to do something. Yeah? I think even in the past too, that is why we work. So that we have a better future, for example. Or that we plan for our kids. Or that I can have this, that. I can have that. I can have that. Though we've come to find out, times are different. Maybe it would have been easier in the past that if you go and study law, you will get that law job. You'll get that money that you know, right? They always said, when you study, yeah? We have so many educated people out there still not having, the life is not the life we were told. And that's just what life is, because we thought we can control it and we can't. However, even if something doesn't go exactly how you want it to go, you would have elevated a little bit. You would have improved a little bit. You'd have at least, it's like they say, when you're collecting water when it's raining, someone is using a bigger bucket, another person has a drum, another person has a smaller bucket. Now, you'll also not control how much rain is going to fall. However, when you collect, you've collected something. You get? So the seeking of control sometimes is so that we feel safe, that we know where we are. Because half the time we're still finding out who we are. We do not know. You start something, you don't know, but you're like, can't you get Zeko? Otherwise, if we thought, no control after all, we would not even try. Unfortunately, though, or rather, if we master what life is, unfortunately, it's not easy. It's easy to say, man, let's let go of things when you're saying it. But when you want something, it will be very hard to convince even yourself that you should let something be if it can't.
Yeah, but why is that?
No, because you want to feel safe. You want to feel like you're in a place that's stable. Stability is because otherwise we would not be working hard to this, working hard to that. My child's future, my this. But they were thinking, let me do what? Because in your mind you're controlling this child's future, or at least controlling all the other things that may come. You're sort of protecting. That's why we build houses, expecting that roof will stay put. But it happens sometimes they get blown off. You can't control it. But I think it's more of a sense of safety and stability. Because if you can't control sometimes the things around you, then it's chaos. However, knowing that not every time you'll be able to control, especially for things that are out of it's just nature for certain things. You're not going to sit and wait. You can't. You get. But you try. You do what you can to control the environment. You say, now, if I bring an escalator, okay. You try. So that you feel more stable. And when you're stable, it means you don't have fear for the things that you're not sure of, the uncertainty. Unfortunately, so I say this, if you can, go ahead. If you can't, so my thing is, give it a shot, try.
So take a calculated risk, really. Okay, Speaking of I think a big part of especially trying to give up control, because remember again, how I started it was trying to present it as an illusion because we never really have the control we think we do have, right? I think a big part of trying to let go, let things be, trust the process is actually enjoying the process. Now, because of the kind of community that we're in right now, everything is so fast paced, and you need to almost plan maybe 5, 6, 7 steps ahead, right? You have to work maybe 3 or 4 times harder than what previous generations used to get to the levels that they are at now. Has that turned us into a more outcome based community than a process based? Because outcome is, we are always looking towards the end, how this thing is going to end up, right? And process based, we are in the moment and appreciating the journey that we are going on, without really, okay, I won't say worrying, but without letting ourselves dwell so much on what the outcome is going to be. So are we more outcome based or process based?
Personally, I think we have always been an outcome. What did you call it?
Best.
Outcome-based society. Process. I think that's where the saying of no one cares about the process. Everyone just sees the result. And I think that's why we need to have actually control. That's why they say you need to take control of your life. You need to take control of those things. Because when we say illusion of control, it becomes an illusion if your input doesn't make any change. Just as Sha said, the rain, we have no control over how much rain pours. And like dying, we don't have what? We don't have any control. It's a natural process. It's an illusion to think you'll extend by 200 years. No.
What about paying taxes?
Paying taxes? Do we have control on that?
I'm just asking. I don't think it is advisable for you to answer that question on air because your views may be misconstrued.
Exactly. I was going to say so many things, but yeah, we can still have control by sending leaders who will advocate for people who actually have money to pay their taxes than giving them tax holidays.
I told you not to say things. Yep. Are you Arsenal fan? You talk.
Okay, illusion of control. To me, I don't believe it's an illusion because I can control most of the things that happen in my life. I believe everything that happens is a consequence of my actions or what I chose to do in a particular situation, right? But very many people have an illusion. Just like, for example, you think wearing a white hat will make Man U win. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the unforeseen technical circumstances. Steven's mic is not working anymore.
Anyway, there are certain things some people will want to do, believing they will control an outcome, but that really doesn't control anything, okay? Everything that happens, an outcome that happens, is a result of something you chose, okay? For example, I don't know which example I can give here.
Is he an Arsenal fan as well? That's why he has no control.
No. I don't want to go much into sports.
Okay.
We will go away from our topic. Eh? But for Arsenal, we know we are winning the league this season.
Okay.
And we can control that with our best players. So those ones can be controlled. For example, gambling too. A person who gambles, those guys who throw dice, they may think throwing it in a certain way may control the outcome, yet it's all just based on luck. Everything is already destined to happen. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, so why then? Because do any of you know of a philosopher called Carl? I think his last name is pronounced Jung, Jung, right? It's Carl Jung. Now, Carl Jung's philosophy was that we as human beings assume we have control over majority of the variables around us, and yet we do not. And that is why most times we cling to certain things so hard. And Carl Jung was a big proponent of, let's let things go, let's trust the system, trust the process, yeah? And then everything will naturally fall into place. So are you guys, do you believe in the philosophy like that the more we try to control something, the less we can actually ascertain what its outcome is going to be? Because you've had stories of people saying, people saying things like, the harder you try to hold on, sometimes the messier something gets, right? And the moment you let go, then things start to work out. It's like a lot of people say, when you come into the world, when you enter the world with an energy of scarcity and energy of need, which sort of comes off at desperation, then things somehow happen to not work out your way, which is something that usually happens when you're trying so much to hold on to control, right? And then a lot of people have also said, the moment you let things go and let things be, and things start to fall into place. So are you guys believers in that, or do you maybe have another take on Carl Jung's philosophy?
So what happens if the letting go doesn't work? You get? Because if we're assuming that letting go will allow you the freedom to access things a certain way as they should, not every time that you actually let go, you get that process we are talking about, that freedom we're talking about. So the uncertainty in itself, that what is also the guarantee that if I let things go how they go, they shall go. They'll go as they should. What if I don't want them to go as they should? Like, what's the guarantee that if I let go, I'm going to be happier? What's the guarantee? You see? So that uncertainty results, like I said earlier, to us being unstable. Why? We are fearing. Because even that letting go, unless you really want, I cannot be convinced that it's going to make things better. The only thing it will do is to help you deal with things like loss and stress and what, because you're like, you know what, as it should be. You get? Not because it's going to improve or add something to it. So, hi, Paul. So, so my issue is, where's the guarantee, okay? So I rather what you can control, or at least you try, you do your part, yeah? And let the rest of it happen. But you did your part. You tried to make sure that you control all these different variables that affect life. As, for example, if I fall sick, it means I would not go. Because after all, you get, but you need to try it and see. You would have done your part, And usually, because of that uncertainty, even the letting go for me is going to make me very uncomfortable because I'm not certain if it's going to give me the results that it should be giving. The only thing, like I said, it will do for me is to help me deal with stress or with loss or with change in a way where I just accept chigani. Doesn't mean I'm going to go smiling chigani. It still bothers you. But maybe it only helps us cope with stress and loss and change, That is the only thing I will say letting go will do for someone.
Okay, but what does letting go look like for you? Like, in terms of how we are perceiving it, is it like completely giving up, or is it like, for instance, I'm pivoting to maybe this hasn't been working, so I'm pivoting to try and maybe take this angle, or?
But that would depend, because letting go for me is let's leave it, okay? So it can be let's leave it and try this. It can be, I'm not bothering. It can be, I am not going to put in any more effort. It can be, Maybe if I, so letting go would come in so many forms, not necessarily to entirely let something go. So that's why it depends on the situation. But in its sense, as letting go means you are no longer really putting in as much energy or effort or the 100%. So you're choosing to say whichever way it goes. And remember, as a human being, or even other animals. Yeah. So
We are speaking for other animals now.
no. For real, guys. Real life. If you see, it can be. It's even dogs contemplate. Guys, like,
You've been spending way too much time with Lupe.
even cats. I saw the other last time. It can be wanting to just like hold up, So just in nature,
Yeah.
you get. We cannot entirely not let go. First of all, it feels safer when you feel like you're in control or in charge of something.
Hallelujah.
So even the letting go, you're saying, and the as much as you do that, that means you've actually given up. You don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah? But the things we care for about, hey.
You never let go. Key, I wanted to say something then.
Yes.
As a no fan.
No, besides that, you see, people understand letting go in different perspectives. For me, I'll go and speak from a personal perspective. One thing that letting go means to me, it's like, yes, you're just moving away, you get. But you moving away doesn't mean you do not have an emotional attachment to the other person or whoever it is, you get. So you always have to look at the emotional perspective. And yes, you can let go of someone. Right now I'm not speaking about animals. We are speaking about people. And we've had these experiences. When you let go, you let go of, people call it baggage. For me, I don't prefer to call it baggage because these are experiences that you people had together. So it's not baggage. Even the other person is experiencing the same thing. You get. So when you do let go, do not also forget the other person. That person can always be your friend. You get. So letting go, for me, I'm speaking from personal experience. All my exes are my friends. You get. And the reason why I maintain that, because when we separate like this, we agree, okay, we're not going to drag this on. You get. I am not the one who's doing it for you. You're not the one who's doing it for me. So we're separating. But that doesn't mean you negate all the experiences you had together. Yeah. You understand? And they will call me in case I have an issue or in case they have an issue where I can help. So letting go is understandable in different perspectives. You get. There is you having a bad breakup. You get it? And then, okay, it may be really bad. You get. But the experiences or the time you had with that person is also important. Yes, he treated you badly or she treated you badly at the time when you are breaking up. But right now you've moved on. You get. And it's very important that those people always stay around because they look out for you. Even if it is intentional or unintentional, they look out for you. So for me, I'll be honest, letting go for me is, yes, we have separated, but it doesn't mean we are enemies, you get. And then the other thing is, you can reach out for me for help. You get? You can always reach out to me. If you want something, and I am the one who's there who can help, please do not hesitate to call me. You understand? So it is really important that, yes, you've broken up, you've separated under different conditions, but the friendship still stays. You get? So it's not about just letting go and then you close the chapter. No. These are people who have been with us, who have known us, who know balina olugambo bayinza okugamba buli kimu kyoyagala omuntu gwe kyotamanyi ne bakikugamba kino oyo yali muntu wange okitegeera ekyo, so babeera bakimanyi. So for me, that is my experience. And with letting go, you see, it takes time. That is one thing. Give yourself the peace, the patience. And when you calm with everything, that is when you can always, if that the other person reaches, you don't have to reach out to them. But if they reach out to you and they know that, oh, I know, okay, for me, I call you Hayit from childhood. So instead of Rowena. So if someone reaches out to you and they're like, oh,
Auntie
I know this is what you do, you get it. Can you help me with this? You connect them. You get it. So
Paul, for you, your perception of letting go is it's not you're stepping away from the situation but not completely neglecting it. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
You see, it's not about we step away because we have had disagreements, but that doesn't mean when I let go, I forget caring about you. You understand? So it is critical that these are the people who know so much. We've shared so much about ourselves with them. You get?
Yeah.
So it is very important that, yeah, fine, you've left, you've let it go, but that doesn't mean. Please.
No, I was guiding you under conversation.
Okay. But
yes.
that doesn't mean that these are people who we erase from our lives. You get? These are people who are like, and you see, the irony is, these same people that we've been with, they'll go, they'll have families, then you see their kids, and you have to be happy for them. You understand? What has the child done for you? Exactly.
All right, so Paul, would you also take that same mindset about letting go, especially because I know you've talked about it deeply in terms of interpersonal relationships, yeah? But would you also take that same perspective outside, let's say, the realm of relationships? Let's look at you're pursuing something you love, be it a hobby, be it a business, your career. Would you say that you take that kind of perspective on letting go and apply it to also these other aspects of life?
Now, I'm going to tell you something. You see, me, I've been in administration, you understand, and there is a lot of politics, you get, and you'll know someone who doesn't want something for you, you get, and they also don't want something for somebody else, in different perspectives, if it is job, if it is something else, you also have to look and you understand, you see, I used to work with CK. You know that? I was there. This is my experience. And there was a lot of politics. And for me, I told them, I'm stepping away. You get? But that one, I don't let go. I'm serious. Up to today.
You step away.
I stepped away, but I do not let go. And for me, to be honest, you see, you know, people, we work with different people. And you see, we are in a workplace, you're interacting with people from different places, different cultures and everything. But you see, me, I'll be honest with you. If they do you that, hold that grudge. Always hold it. You know why? Because that same person is one, when you ask for recommendation from him or her, they are writing bad things about you. You get? So you hold it, and you hold them accountable. But the freaking irony is, I'm sorry, I couldn't say cuss word. So the irony is, these same people, for me, when I stepped away, and I even told the guy who did me that, I told him, like, you see, you have kids. Now your kids are going to grow up and they are going to be meeting our people. So do we treat the child who hasn't done us any wrong badly? You get? So for me, I hold my grudge with you.
So
But with personal relationships, it's different. Personal relationships, that is someone who knows you, someone who actually understood you at a certain point, and then it fell away. But at work, who knows about you? You tell me. To be honest.
Paulo.
You see, no, for me, I'm speaking very blatantly.
Paulo.
You see, those people, you know, you may be the kindest person at work,
Yeah.
but there will always be someone who's running.
So
Right.
what you're saying, so for
Hold that grudge, anything, as long as it is not personal relationships.
So for
That one, you hold them accountable.
For interpersonal relationships, you're saying
You have to be able to understand.
you step away and you pivot, right?
Yes,
But for outside personal relationships, especially at work, by the way, if you know you had Paul at work, we are giving you 2 days to apologize to Paul. In the meantime, Kia wanted to say something.
Now, you see, the reason why I keep on saying that, you see, most of the people who employ us are private companies. You get, it's not the government. You understand? And everyone is trying to pick onto something, to grow onto something. So, ye wakulaba nti no, ono mulemesezza ze mbeera ngenda kukola ki?
Ugenda chikolako. All right,
Ate,
Paul. Let's first give that mic to.
Anyway.
Because I'm going to come back. I have like 6 questions for you.
ate njagala kudduka
And then now follow up.
mumpe bbiya.
Now follow up. Now follow up nyingi. She was laughing about something.
Honestly, I've forgotten what I wanted to say. But still on the topic of letting go and control, I think letting go of certain things also takes a lot of effort. I think with control and actually letting things flow, I think to me, life is not really a straight line. Like there are too many factors that are contributing to the outcome of one thing. I think when they say let it go, I think it's when they are basing on things that we receive freely. Things we give freely that are not based on anything.
Things like?
Things like love, kindness. You loving someone is not based on anything. But as much as it's freely given, there are some other factors that you have to put in. Because someone might give you the love freely, but if you're not able to control it, you might not maintain it. By controlling it is doing, maybe, I don't know how to explain it.
You use your words.
I'm using my words, they are coming. But
You're finding you're finding them.
I'm finding my words, yeah. So I think when they say let it flow, it means those things. But with life, you really need to put in, to control cause and effect. Your action has a result. Yes, Paul. Yes.
Me, I'm just asking about control.
Paul has
See,
a question about control.
With control, what can we control? Now, I'm going to tell you something. You see, for me, I'm a medical doctor.
Tell them.
I can wake up in the morning and I'm dead.
Bombastic.
Did I have control over that? I have done everything. My pressure is normal. My heart is okay. But I have no control over something. You see, with control, now in relationships, you see, with relationships, when you put in that control, the control is supposed to be what you can control. You cannot control what the other person is doing. And the other person is still going to do what they want to do.
Okay, so Paul, so what's the question?
My question is, do we have any control in this life?
Pivot. Answer. In the meantime, shout out to the Barrow House, our sponsor.
Yeah, I think we actually do have control over certain things. You becoming Dr. Paul, I think that's why I said cause and effect. Your action, the action you took, was actually going to medical school. That things would have turned out different if you had gone to law school. You wouldn't have finished law and then got... I did not know that, but you said you're a medical doctor. So I think that's the perspective I'm taking it to. That there are things in life that you need to put in effort, and that is the way I'm looking at control.
Okay, so if what's the determinant really? Because you can still put in the effort and try to control the situation and end up with a totally different outcome. Not so?
Exactly.
So what exactly is the guarantee that putting in that effort and trying to control that situation leads to the outcome that you desire?
You have to look at life that there are probabilities. But when we are putting in doing something, we have an expected result. That's why we don't do things blindly. Is I am doing this because I need this to happen. I'm getting into this relationship because maybe I see a future. You're not just going with the wind. Because when you're going with the wind, you're going to go any direction. I think I'm looking at it in that way, that effort you're putting in has very many outcomes. You might get into a relationship, you might get married, they might break your heart, you might stay friends, you might not stay friends. Yes. So there are a lot of outcomes, but there's an outcome that we always look towards.
But even,
Yeah.
yes. But that uncertainty itself is why we try to actually control. So even when we know it may not go the way we want it, we are going to try.
So how do we get better at dealing with that uncertainty? Yeah. Paul, you have a question?
Before we go to your question, now for me, what I'm going to ask, you see, you're looking at it on your person, you as you. Are you considering what the other person is also thinking about? You see, so exactly. Now, for you may have planned, yes, this is what I'm controlling. And the other person's plans are also on the opposite side. You understand? So how do we mitigate that? You've made your plans, you've done everything. You know this is what you want, this is what you want. Because I'll be honest, they will tell you in a relationship, they will tell you, oh, this is okay for me, this is okay. Me, I smoke. You get? Edit that. I smoke. But I don't care. I smoke. But I have to ask the other person if she's comfortable with it. She may not be comfortable with it, but she's also controlling her things. You get? So where is the middle ground?
Guys, we shall keep going back and forth on this thing. Because there is no way we can say we are going to find a balance. And why we are actually having this conversation is because that uncertainty itself, that lack, that worry or concern of stability, safety, blah, this, that, that's how we are at the point of control.
All right, so
I don't think, though, that it is an illusion. You get? Only that, of course, like we said, you do what you can ebiganye.
All right, so what we keep coming back to is that uncertainty that keeps pushing us, right? To try and mitigate, navigate, even control the situations or some of the variables around us, right? But like you've rightfully pointed, so that uncertainty never leaves, right? It's a constant factor within life. Like nobody knows how tomorrow is going to be. We all know it's a Monday, but we are uncertain how that Monday is going to run, right? We all know that in 5 days it will be Friday, but we are uncertain how we are even going to get there. So how do we get better at dealing with the uncertainty such that it doesn't seem like we're having futile control over the things that we want to control?
I'm going to answer this, huh? You see, always consider the other person's opinion. You get it? It's not, for me, I can make my plans and I know today I have to buy a car, I have this. You get? And then the other person tells me, we should buy land. So do not think about it as an individual. You get? That uncertainty can only be sorted when you, 2 people, or 3 or 4, bahaj. When you sit down and you agree on certain things, it doesn't mean that it's going to take away that uncertainty. You get it? You will reach a certain point. For you, you've achieved your goal. The other person has achieved their goal. You know, that kind of thing. So there is nothing like we can achieve absolute uncertainty.
Well, absolute lack of uncertainty.
As long as you are always communicating, it is very critical. You get? Because you have your plans in your head. She has her plans in her head. You get?
Yeah.
But when you sit and you talk, and okay, middle ground. We haven't all achieved what we want, but we can be in life.
Paul today has spoken on behalf of interpersonal relationships. All you guys have been looking at. Paul is
In
like,
life.
guys.
No, listen. In
this
life,
is where we are.
in life, you see, for me, I've come to learn. You have to be able to agree with the other person, to be honest. Yes, you want something. I also want something. What is our middle ground? Itugamba, okay, let's reach here. What is our compromise?
You guys, you
You
remember?
understand that kind of thing?
Yeah, you remember the conversation of the inside man? Yeah, use your inside. Paul today has brought us to the middle ground. Stephen wanted to say something.
Yeah, he wanted.
Stephen wanted to say something.
So, to answer your, how can we get rid of the answer? That one was very certain. I don't know. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we
So-
have 2 very loud Arsenal fans in the building. If you're hearing any feedback in the background, that's because they won't keep quiet. Arsenal fan 1 is talking.
Yeah. So,
So yes, Stephen, you're telling us
about,
about dealing with uncertainty, or
uncertainty.
becoming okay with uncertainty.
we can become okay with our uncertainty by choosing to practice how, instead of choosing to control the outcome, we choose to control our responses, okay? So, for example, I'll give, say you're preparing for an exam. Of course, by the time we've all reached here, we have prepared for exams before. I can control how well I prepare for it, but I can't control the exact questions coming, okay? Another example is a job. I can't control if I'll get the job, but I can control how prepared I can be for the interview, right? So it's more about focus on what you can change, yeah? And let go of what's beyond your control, okay? Because otherwise you'll get so anxious, you'll get so stressed out, you'll get...
Yeah.
Yeah?
There is so to add on to what you said, especially controlling the variables that we can, there is a quote by Kobe Bryant. Kobe said that anytime he felt a bit of fear when he was stepping into any venture, but of course, because he's big on basketball, he was talking about basketball. He said anytime he felt a little bit of fear when he was stepping onto the court, it meant that he had not done sufficiently enough in the way of preparation for that game, right? So he was a big proponent of, you know what, put in the 10,000 hours. And on the day you step onto that court, you will be filled with an unabashed amount of confidence simply because you know confidently you did everything that you could to prepare. And I think really the big part, the thing he was pushing for when he said stuff like that was there is variables that we actually can manipulate, right? If I take, if I went onto the court and I know my job is to shoot 3-pointers, and the week before I only practiced shooting 10 3-pointers the entire week, obviously if you gave me the ball for the 3-pointers that day, I'd feel a little bit some type of way. But if I shot 1,000 3-pointers in the week leading up to the game, if you gave me that ball, I'm definitely going to shoot with some confidence. Yeah, You took the mic so fast.
I just wanted to add on what he said. How do we deal with that one?
Uncertainty.
It has gone.
Uncertainty.
Yeah. The way. Yeah.
We can deal with is the anxiety, but the uncertainty, because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we just have to deal with it when we experience it.
Hamina. Kia was saying something.
I was saying something. I think from my personal experience, is I've come to the realization that in this life I wasn't meant to live only one version. Like I refuse to be rigid. That this is how life should go. So I have learned to embrace every stage of my life. Maybe I had all these plans that by the time I'm 30, this should have happened. And now I'm 30 and it has not happened. Is it the end of the world?
Is it?
No. Is it the end of the world? No.
Arsenal won today.
Like,
Is
so
it the end of the world? Don't answer that question. Kia, proceed.
When things don't go our way, it doesn't mean you should now fold and the world is done for you. Embrace changes in life. Be flexible. Be open to new chance, new experiences. So that when things don't go your way, and we make plans. It's good to make plans. When they say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So shoot for the sky. Maybe you land on the clouds, but trust me, make a plan. If it doesn't work out, re-strategize. Yeah, you will get something. You learn, you grow. So that's how I would deal with it.
I feel like Ruben Amorim should listen to you.
So I wanted to add on that. Like I said earlier on, it might not go as you wanted it to go, but you've picked something from it. So you've not totally failed anyway. So for me, I feel like there's always a lesson, yes. So, but however, the things we can't get rid of is the uncertainty. The only way letting go helps is it's helping you deal with, like you said, anxiety, knowing or dealing with loss better, or change.
Or failure.
Or failure, because you've told yourself,
or even success.
yeah, as it comes, But you see, let's be honest, there's no person on this earth, that is just going to every day live,
I will just be cool regardless.
Just the uncertainty alone. You're anxious about the weather. You're anxious about everything. We don't know. Will it rain? Will it not rain? Will the plants grow? Will they not grow? Will it be too windy?
He could not control the rain in Ginger.
Yes, he could not control the rain. It was natural. So in the end, uncertainty is going to be around us and lingers. That is why we try and control what we can control. The things we can't, at least you have changed something. You have, just a bit. My past 2 weeks were horrible. And because of the little I tried to control, it helped me deal with that situation. But I didn't choose the situation. You know? We don't choose loss. We don't choose even success. When you're about to give up.
So basically what we're saying is it's not that we as human beings have the illusion of control. I think maybe we're just trying to control the variables which we cannot, and that's why we're getting ourselves in positions where things are like me supporting Manchester United. You see, this is going to be a long way for me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We're out of time, unfortunately. Maurice's hand, that just recovered. But we normally do this thing that we call after the talk track, where we keep the conversation going, even though Maurice is not recording, so we can still talk into the mics and make some noise and have some serious conversations. And we haven't done it in a while. So today we're going to have after the talk track, because I still have a lot of questions to ask Dr. Paul. That being said, regardless, thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening with us. My name is Roy. I've been your host for the evening. Shout out to Maurice, the producer, aka the videographer, aka the sound mixer, aka he does so much, man. He even does graphic design. You see that talk track banner there? Hey, you see my face. That was Maurice. Yeah, he's also a graphics designer. But I'm over giving you props if they call you for all these jobs and you don't do it. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We hope to continue with conversations like this. Catch us every Sunday, 9 p.m. at Plot 8B Gabula Road, the Bar House, unofficial home of the Kara Junkies. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Have a lovely week, and we'll see you on Sunday. Peace out. Congratulations to Arsenal fans.